Hello everyone, this is Shoy Kashyap and today I am going to vlog on this Mercedes-Benz GLA class. So this is the 200D sports diesel version which comes with a 2.2 liter CDI motor which creates 138 bhp at 306,000 rpm. So this is quite attractive looking car. You can look at the side of the car. So this feels more like a crossover than an SUV, but still it's come in the SUV segment. As you can see that the headlamps of the car is inspired by its siblings, which is the Mercedes-Benz C-Class and the E-Class. Just this car gets the single beam light on over here. So if you focus here, you will get it is a bi-xenon HID headlamp. So if we look from the front of the car, it looks much unique than any other Merc because it is actually based on the Mercedes A-Class and it is a long wheelbase version of the A-Class. And it is actually taller, bigger and much more wider in length. So this also drives better than the A-Class in all the ways, and it also gets much more powerful engine than the Mercedes A-Class. So now let's look on the side profile of the car. As you can see from the side, it looks quite attractive and bold, and the body lines goes from the front to the end. Here you can say it's a kind of a crossover kind of design of a car which feels much more attractive. So here you can see the tires of the car. This is 235/50 R18 tires. So these are 18-inch wheels, therefore it looks quite big. And here you can see you get 4 discs all across the wheels. These are quite grippy tires which will give you a great profile on the road. So now just look inside the engine bay of the car. So this is the 2.2 liter CDI diesel unit of the Mercedes-Benz, which also powers the Mercedes-Benz A-Class and the C-Class. So well, it is quite powerful. This creates 138 bhp power from low 3600 rpm and 300 Nm torque from low 1600 rpm. So this is a 4-cylinder engine, so that's not much to complain about, and it also gives a great fuel economy for Indian road conditions. Talk about the 0 to 100 km test of the car. So this car takes around 9 seconds to touch 100 km per hour, and the top speed is 205 km per hour, which doesn't matter a lot for a lot of buyers in India. So now let's look on the back of the car. Even the back of the car looks quite good and attractive because this gets a sloping roof line over here. And here you can see on the lower part of the car you get a diffuser with active exhaust, which it is not fake exhaust like today's what BMW and Mercedes-Benz car do. They give fake exhaust to it, but in this car you get real exhaust. And here is a towing hook of the car, so you can go off-road with something, and if you are stuck, like, you can help it out. So here is a bumper garnish kind of treatment given over there. Here is a chrome finish. Here you get the Mercedes logo. Here you get the CDI badging, which tells you that this is a diesel engine, and here is the GLA 200 badging. Now let's look on the lights of this vehicle. So here you can see these are all LED setup light, but the turn indicator is not LED. So that's quite good. And here you can see you get the car gets a rear wiper with washer fluid over here. And the wipers wash the rear windscreen really nicely. And here is a brake lamp which looks quite attractive at the night. So now let's look on the topmost of the car. Here you get the panoramic sunroof with all glass treatment, which gives a dual treatment on the car. On the lower part you get silver finish, and on the top part you get the black finish. And when you come on the back, you get the fuel lid. Here you can see the turn indicators on the mirror of this car, which looks quite attractive at day and even night. And will resemble you some old Mercedes car and looks quite classic and good, which you don't get in the new Mercedes car. Now let's look on the boot space of the vehicle. So this is 421 liters in size, and if you split the front seats, you approx get 1235 liter boot space. So that's quite massive. And here you can see the loading lip is quite low, so you don't get issues while loading your baggage. And here you can see, here is the spare wheel of the vehicle, which is actually a full size spare wheel, and just this spare wheel takes a lot of space on the back as all the Mercedes car, but it's quite spacious for the price and size of the car. So now let's talk about the interior of the car. As you know, this is a Mercedes, so the quality levels would be phenomenal. Here the leathers and upholstery used is quite brilliant. When you touch it, it will feel really soft and solid and reliable too. So here you can see, here is the door opening knob, and here is a tweeter, and here down you see the speaker. So here is the lock unlock button, and on the inside you can see there is quite good space. Now let's get inside the car. So here you can see that there is a quite good space for two people, and when you push down the armrest you will get a lot of comfort feeling in this car. Here if you see, the leg room is quite good. The under thigh support is also good, because just the seats are quite low, therefore the support is quite less, but when you extend your legs forward it feels quite comfortable. And if you see, the headroom is quite low, but then also it doesn't feel like that you are in a small car. It feels premium. Now let's come inside. Here you, on the both side you get reading lamps, yellow reading lamps. I supposed to get it LEDs, but it's quite good. All the fit and finish is quite good, and the headrest is also quite soft and cushiony. And here you can see it's kind of get an aluminium treatment on the side, which feels quite premium to hold. Now let's talk about the headrest. This car gets 3 adjustable headrests, so there is no issue to carry 3 passengers on the back. But the loading lip is quite the center tunnel is quite high, which can feel a bit uncomfortable, but it's quite good. And if you sit 2 people only on the back, there is also cup holder, so you can enjoy your nicks and knacks at the back. On the lower part you get a 12-volt charging port, so you can charge your phone comfortably, and you can also put your small things on the upper part. Let's get into the vehicle. Here you can see that the Mercedes-Benz plate is illuminated on the down, and all the lights controls are illuminated all across the buttons. So here you can see you get the electrically adjustable driver seat. You can change the seat position, go to back and go to front. And here you also get 3 memory seats function. So let's quickly jump inside the vehicle. So here you can see the Mercedes steering wheel and the instrument cluster. On the leftmost is the speedometer, on the rightmost is the tachometer. In the middle is a 4.5-inch instrument cluster. On the top left is the temperature meter, and the top right is the time. And here you can see the gear knob of the vehicle, which shows the gear positioning indicator in the instrument cluster, which shows reverse, neutral, drive mode, and right now this car is in the park mode. Here you can see is the volume control of the cars, and here you can accept and decline the calls. Here is a voice command, and from here you can mute the music. On the leftmost is the control of the instrument cluster. You can go back, you can select, you can go up and down. So let's quickly come into the instrument cluster. Here's the distance to empty data, the total number of kilometers driven by the car, the average fuel consumption, the power data, acceleration, constant and coating. Here's the average speed of the vehicle, the travel data, how much you have driven from starting of the car. And here's the you can see the data from the reset, how much you have driven, the average speed, and how much time you have driven, and what's the fuel consumption. Here's a digital speedometer, and here it shows which device is connected to your car. And here is the electronic stability program of the car, which is turned on right now. And this is the basically attention assist, which is a very advanced Mercedes system, which takes the input of the car, basically the steering wheel, and let you know whether you're fatigued or not. It's a very advanced system, and it will know that when you are exhausted and when you need to stop your car. And here is the tire pressure monitoring system in all the four wheels. Here is like the service data, which is written that you need to service the car in 19 days. Here it comes the instrument cluster, light controls and all. Like you can change all the settings. You can turn on the DRLs or turn off the DRLs. And you can basically limit the speed if you are on winter tires, or whether your driver is driving the car, then you can turn it on. And there's another functionality also, that is basically a acoustic lock feature that let your safety in your hand. And there's the automatic door lock feature, which like automatically locks the door when you are in the car, or whether you start driving. You can change it according to the setting. There's a convenience setting in which you can basically auto fold the mirrors. And it has a two split kind of function. Like here is kind of on the middle is a pillar kind of thing. So it separates the front and the rear of the car. Now, if you focus on the dashboard, it's get a quite soft plastic. Here you get a beach treatment, which is actually a wooden treatment over here. And now you can see the instrument screen, actually the infotainment screen of the car. So it's quite big for the time when the car was launched. You get the AC controls, which is like a jet engine, which looks quite attractive. This design was actually like the first to do this kind of design language was the Merc. And here you get the 12-volt charging output. Here you can charge the car, and here is the control of the infotainment screen. All the controls you can do from here. It's quite a good screen, not as great as the BMWs, but it's perfect for you. Here you get the call functionality. You can call, and the radio, navigation. This car also get navigation functionality in 2014. That's great when the car was launched. So you get the hazard light button, and here is the eco mode. You can change the drive mode from here. This is a sport eco mode, and you can get into manual mode. And you can see that there is no as kind of gear knob, because the gear position of all the Mercs is on the right. So this car gets ambient lighting on all the areas of the car. This is the orange light, but this is quite attractive at night. And here you get the glove box, which also get a light inside, and it's quite a big glove box to store a lot of things. So that's quite great. So you can see this is the key, which has to be put inside this knob, which was the old-fashioned Mercedes. And here you can see it is the lights control. You can go to auto, you can turn on the lights. It is the fog light control. And here you get the electric handbrake of the car. As you know, this car doesn't get a manual handbrake, and this is an automatic, therefore it's get a parking brake. So you can see the brake pedal and the accelerator pedal. It's quite big. It doesn't feel like a small car. And here you get leg rest to keep your leg when you are not driving really fast. And here you get a complete leather wrapped steering wheel that feels actually quite great. As you can see, this car gets a default color ambient lighting, which you can't change, but still it looks good at night. Even higher end segment cars like Mercedes-Benz E-Class and GLE doesn't get changing color option for ambient lights at that time. The full black interior from roof to seat covers to the door panels to the dashboard looks quite sporty. As one can see, this car comes with a great package. Now, this car is a bit old, but still it holds its value quite well. In today's date, the new generation GLA cost 55 lakh rupee on road Delhi, and the top end 220D 4MATIC cost 58 lakh. once can get this Gen GLA in pre-owned car market in a good condition at around 22 to 25 lakh rupee. This car gets the most fresh design of its time and lot of cool tech and features. It doesn't deliver as good performance as the BMW X1, but the overall package as a Mercedes car is quite good. It feels and looks best in the segment from my point of view. Let's come down to main part of the video for which people buy a car. How is it to drive? This is the main question. If you sit in this car and start driving, what you will notice that it drives better than a CLA and Mercedes A-Class, even though it's built on the same platform, but it doesn't drive as good as C-Class because C-Class is a rear wheel drive car. Let's come to engine performance. The mid-range punch of this diesel engine is very strong, but the low end is on bit a linear side. If this car launches more in a aggressive manner, it could be better, but still it's a very strong engine. As we all know that new brands are focused towards turbo petrol diesel engine, and some people out there compare this Mercedes GLA diesel engine or the petrol one with the cars like Seltos GT Turbo Line and SUV 700 petrol. But they don't know that once this car will cross 120 km per hour, this car is gonna take over all other these turbo petrol engine cars. Definitely those cars are gonna win drag races of 0 to 100 km per hour because they get an initial punch that is a bit missing out here. They launches a bit more aggressively, but this car is definitely faster in terms of top speed, as well as after when it reaches its red line, it's gonna definitely go ahead. Now let's do a fair comparison with its true rival, that's the Audi Q3 and BMW X1. So if we see, X1 got a stiffer suspension in this car, and it drives better in high speeds if we compare to GLA, and the Q3 is a bit on the softer sides, but still it drives quite good. Well, if we see, the suspension is in between of Audi Q3 and BMW X1. And if we come to now the steering response, definitely X1 is best out there with the steering response, and Q3 stands after that. Now, if we look at the new generation GLA, then it's better than both of those two cars because it's a newer version of a car and it definitely gets a better performance, a better engine. So yeah, definitely there's no comparison now because even the prices has got higher now. Now, if we see, GLA is a very balanced car out there in terms of ride, quality, luxury and performance. If you want to buy a car which is sleek and latest of its time, even if you see the history, Mercedes-Benz GLA was launched after BMW X1 and Audi Q3 in India, and even now in 2022 it's the latest of its all competitor. So make your decision and go for it. Goodbye.